The gallery smelled of paint and old wood. Rain hammered against the windows, blurring the Seattle streets beyond. Sophia Bennett stood behind the front desk, fingers trembling as she read the eviction notice for the third time. 30 days. The door chimed. She looked up to see Nathan Cross, tech billionaire, soaked from the downpour. Water dripped from his designer jacket onto her worn floorboards. Miss Bennett. His voice was smooth, controlled. I have a proposition. She set down the notice, her throat tight. I'm listening. My sister's wedding is next Saturday. I need a date, someone who won't fall for the fantasy. He stepped closer, the scent of expensive cologne mixed with rain. Someone who understands it's purely transactional. You want to hire me? Not a question. $15,000. One weekend, you play the part of my girlfriend, smile for photos and walk away when it's over. Sophia's heart pounded. $15,000 would save the gallery, save everything her late father had built. But something in Nathan's ice-blue eyes made her hesitate. Why me? Because you looked at me like I was just another person at that auction. Not a bank account. Not a trophy. He pulled out a contract. And because you need this as much as I do. She glanced at the eviction notice. Her father's paintings on the walls, the dreams turning to dust. What's the catch? Nathan's jaw tightened. My mother is relentless. My ex-fiancée will be there. You'll need to be convincing. Ex-fiancée? Sophia felt something cold settle in her stomach. It ended 2 years ago. Badly. He set the contract on the desk between them. She's marrying my former business partner at my sister's wedding. The bitterness in his voice was raw, real. For a moment, the billionaire mask slipped. Sophia picked up the pen. Her hand hovered over the signature line. Every instinct screamed this was a mistake, but the eviction notice stared back at her. 1 weekend, she whispered. 1 weekend, he confirmed. She signed. The ink bled into the paper like a wound. Nathan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and his face went pale. There's something you should know. What? He looked at her with an expression she couldn't read. Fear? Regret? My mother just texted. She's invited reporters to the wedding. Society pages. You'll be photographed. Your face will be everywhere by Sunday. The pen slipped from Sophia's fingers. You didn't mention that? I didn't know. Nathan ran a hand through his wet hair. We can cancel. I'll pay you anyway for wasting your time. Sophia looked at the eviction notice, at her father's final painting above the desk, a sunset that would never fade. No. Her voice steadied. We have a deal. Nathan studied her for a long moment. Something flickered in his eyes. Respect, maybe. Or warning. Then we start tomorrow. I need to teach you everything about my life, my family, my past. He moved toward the door, then stopped. Sophia? Yes? Don't fall for the illusion. None of this is real. The door closed behind him. Thunder shook the windows. Sophia picked up the contract with shaking hands. In the corner, in tiny print she hadn't noticed before, was a clause that made her blood run cold. Termination of agreement may result in full financial liability for reputational damages. She'd just signed her life away to a stranger. And somewhere in the city. Nathan Cross sat in his car, staring at his phone. At the message he hadn't shown Sophia. She's perfect, Nathan. But are you sure you want to do this to another innocent woman? You know what happened to the last one. The sender. His ex-fiancée, Victoria. His hands gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. Nathan's penthouse overlooked the city like a glass fortress. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the skyline, cold and glittering. Sophia stood in the living room, feeling small in her thrift store dress. First lesson, Nathan said, handing her champagne in a crystal flute. You're an art consultant I met at a charity event 6 months ago. We've been seeing each other quietly. Quietly. Sophia sipped the champagne. It tasted expensive, wrong in her mouth. Why? Because I value privacy. Because the press would have destroyed us. His eyes were hard. It's believable, is it? She set down the glass. Or is there another reason you need the timeline to be 6 months? Nathan turned to the window. The reflection showed his face, carefully blank. You did your research. Your ex-fiancé broke off your engagement 7 months ago. Sophia's voice was steady despite her racing heart. This makes it look like you've moved on, like you won. I have moved on. Have you? He spun around. The mask cracked. You're being paid to play a part, not psychoanalyze me. I'm being paid to be convincing. Sophia stepped closer. If I don't understand what I'm walking into, I'll fail, and we'll both lose. The silence stretched between them like a wire pulled taut. Finally, Nathan spoke. Victoria left me the day before we were supposed to announce our engagement publicly. She said I was married to my work, that I'd never love anything more than my company. His voice dropped. 3 weeks later, she was with Marcus, my business partner, my best friend since college. Sophia felt the air leave her lungs. That's why she's at the wedding. Marcus is Oliver's college roommate. My sister couldn't not invite him. Nathan poured himself another drink. So yes, Miss Bennett, I need you to be very convincing, because Victoria will be watching, and she'll know if this is fake. What does she want? I don't know. Nathan's hand tightened on the glass. That's what scares me. Sophia's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. He didn't tell you about the NDA, did he? Ask him about Sarah. Her blood turned to ice. Who's Sarah? Nathan's face went white. The glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the marble floor. Champagne spread like blood. Where did you hear that name? Sophia showed him the text. Nathan read it, and something in him seemed to break. Get out. What? Get out! His voice cracked like a whip. The deal's off. I'll wire you the full amount. Just leave. Nathan, what is going on? He crossed the room in 3 strides, grabbing her shoulders. Not rough, but desperate. You don't understand. This was a mistake. I never should have dragged you into this. Into what? Sophia grabbed his wrists. Tell me. Sarah was my assistant. 3 years ago. Nathan's eyes were wild. Victoria accused me of having an affair with her. It wasn't true, but the press got wind of it anyway. Sarah's life was destroyed. She lost her job, her reputation. She tried to sue me for emotional distress. Did she win? No. I paid her to sign an NDA and disappear. Nathan released Sophia, stepping back. 2 months later, she tried to kill herself. The words hung in the air like smoke. Is she alive? Yes, but she's never been the same. Nathan's voice was hollow. Victoria knew exactly what would happen when she started that rumor. She wanted to punish me for working too much, and Sarah paid the price. Sophia felt sick, and now Victoria's targeting me. Yes, why? What does she gain? Nathan looked at her with eyes full of something close to anguish. Because you're exactly her type to destroy. Beautiful, talented, self-made. She sees you as competition, even in a fake relationship. Then we need to be smarter than her. No. Nathan shook his head. I won't let you become another Sarah. Sophia picked up the contract from the table. You said don't fall for the illusion. That none of this is real. She met his eyes. But this is real. Someone's trying to hurt you. And I don't run from bullies. Sophia, please. My father died 2 years ago. Cancer. Her voice steadied. In his last days, he made me promise something. Never let fear make my decisions. Never let cruel people win by default. She stepped closer. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to that wedding. We're going to be so convincing that Victoria chokes on her champagne. And then we're going to figure out what game she's really playing. Nathan stared at her like he was seeing her for the first time. You're either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both. Sophia held out her hand. Partners? Nathan looked at her hand. At her face. At the determination burning in her eyes. Slowly, he took her hand. His skin was warm, calloused in ways that surprised her. Not the soft hands of a man who only typed. Partners, he whispered. His phone rang. Emma's name flashed on the screen. Nathan answered. Hey, sunshine. Emma's voice was frantic, loud enough for Sophia to hear. Nathan, you need to come to the venue right now. There's been a problem with the seating chart. Victoria's making demands. She says if we don't put her at the head table next to you, she'll boycott the wedding entirely. Nathan closed his eyes. She can't do this. She's saying Marcus will drop out as a groomsman. Oliver's panicking. Please, Nathan. Just come fix this. He hung up. Looked at Sophia. Still want to be partners? Sophia grabbed her jacket. Let's go meet your ex. They drove through the rain in silence. The wedding venue was a restored mansion on the waterfront, all white columns and manicured gardens. Inside, chaos reigned. Emma stood in the main ballroom, on the verge of tears. And there, holding court by the windows, was Victoria Ashford. She was stunning. Tall, blonde, polished like a knife. When she saw Nathan, her smile was pure venom. "Nathan, darling, how wonderful to see you." Sophia felt Nathan's hand find hers. "Squeeze once, Victoria." His voice was ice. "I hear you're making my sister's wedding difficult." "Not at all. I'm simply requesting appropriate seating for Marcus and me." Victoria's eyes slid to Sophia. "And who is this?" Nathan pulled Sophia close. "This is Sophia Bennett, my girlfriend." Victoria's smile didn't waver, but her eyes turned predatory. "Sophia, what a lovely name." She extended her hand. "I'm Victoria, Nathan's ex-fiancée, though I'm sure he's told you all about me." Sophia shook her hand. Victoria's grip was crushing. "He mentioned you briefly. Something about how you chose his best friend over him because he worked too hard." Sophia smiled sweetly. "Funny, I've always found ambition attractive." Victoria's composure cracked for a heartbeat, then returned, harder. "How long have you two been together?" 6 months, Sophia answered smoothly. 6 months. How convenient. Victoria stepped closer. "Tell me, Sophia, what does your family think about you dating Seattle's most eligible bachelor?" The question was a trap. Sophia felt it. "My father passed away 2 years ago. I don't have much family left." She kept her voice even. "But I think he would have approved. Nathan's driven, passionate about his work. Those are qualities Dad valued." Something flickered in Victoria's eyes. "Calculation. I'm so sorry for your loss. It must be lonely having no one to fall back on." She turned to Nathan. "You always did have a savior complex, darling. First Sarah, now this. Do you ever date women who don't need rescuing?" Nathan's hand tightened on Sophia's. "Sophia doesn't need rescuing. She's the curator of Belltown Gallery, self-made, brilliant, everything you pretended to be." The air turned electric. Victoria's mask finally fell. "Careful, Nathan. You know what happens when you let the wrong people get close. Is that a threat?" "It's a reminder." Victoria picked up her clutch. "Enjoy the wedding, you two." "I know I will." She walked away, heels clicking like gunshots. Emma rushed over. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's been impossible all week." Nathan hugged his sister. "It's okay. We'll handle her." But as they left the venue, Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that they'd just declared war, and Victoria had already won the first battle. In the car, Nathan was silent. Finally, he spoke. "Thank you for what you said in there." "I meant it." Sophia looked out at the rain. "But Nathan? She knows something. About me. About the gallery." I could see it in her eyes. What could she possibly know? Sophia's phone buzzed. Another text from the unknown number. "Ask him who really owns Belltown Gallery's building. Ask him why he needs you so badly. It's not about the wedding, Sophia." It never was. Her hand started shaking. "Nathan, who owns my gallery's building?" His silence was answer enough. Sophia felt the world tilt. "It's you, isn't it?" Nathan pulled over, turned to face her. His eyes were full of guilt. "Yes." The rain pounded the car roof. Sophia couldn't breathe. Couldn't think past the roaring in her ears. "You own my building." Nathan's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. "Yes, the eviction notice. That was you." "No." He turned to her, desperate. "I bought the building 6 months ago through a shell company. The eviction was the previous owner's doing before the sale went through. I didn't even know you existed then." "Then how?" Sophia's voice cracked. "How did you know I needed money? How did you know exactly how much to offer?" Nathan's jaw worked. "After the auction, I looked you up. Professional curiosity. I saw the gallery was struggling. When I realized I owned the building, I started researching more." He ran his hand through his hair. "I saw your father's obituary. The medical bills. The debt. I knew $15,000 would be just enough to save you. You manipulated me. I gave you a choice." "A choice?" Sophia laughed, bitter and sharp. "You engineered a crisis and then rode in like a hero. That's not a choice, Nathan. That's a trap. I'm not the villain here." His voice rose. "Victoria is. She's been systematically destroying everything around me for 2 years. My reputation, my relationships. Even Marcus didn't stand a chance. She consumed him." So you decided to use me as a shield. I decided to offer you a mutually beneficial arrangement. Nathan's eyes blazed. Yes, I knew about your debt. Yes, I timed the offer. But I never lied to you. I told you this was transactional. I told you not to fall for the illusion. The illusion that you were a decent person? The words hit like a slap. Nathan flinched. Sophia grabbed the door handle. Stop the car. Sophia, please, stop the car. He pulled over. Sophia stumbled out into the rain, her dress soaking instantly. The cold shocked her system, clearing her head. Nathan was beside her in seconds. Where are you going? Away from you. Away from this nightmare. She started walking. Keep your money. I'll figure out the gallery myself. You can't. Nathan grabbed her arm. The eviction is still coming. Without that money, you'll lose everything. Then I'll lose it. She spun to face him. At least I'll lose it honestly. Not by becoming a pawn in whatever sick game you and Victoria are playing. It's not a game. Nathan's voice broke. She destroyed Sarah. She'll destroy you too if you walk away now. She knows you exist. She knows you matter to me. I don't matter to you. I'm a prop. You're not. He stepped closer, rain streaming down his face. You stopped being a prop the moment you signed that contract and looked me in the eye without fear. You stopped being a prop when you stood up to Victoria like you'd been doing it your whole life. Pretty words from a practiced liar. I'm not lying. Nathan's hands framed her face. His touch was gentle, desperate. I should have told you about the building. You're right, but I was afraid if you knew the full extent of what I'd done, you'd run. And I need you, Sophia. Not just for the wedding. I need someone who sees through the bullshit, who isn't impressed by the money or the power. You needed a fake girlfriend. I needed someone real. His thumb brushed her cheek. And you're the most real person I've met in years. Sophia wanted to pull away. Wanted to hate him, but his eyes were raw with something that looked dangerously like truth. Her phone buzzed. She pulled back, checking it with shaking hands. A photo. Sarah, before and after. The before showed a bright-eyed woman in her 20s. The after showed someone hollowed out, empty. The text below. This is what happens to Nathan Cross's pawns. Walk away or you're next. She sent you that. Nathan's voice was dead. Yes. And you believe her. Sophia looked at the photos, at Nathan, at the rain washing the city clean. I believe she's capable of this. I believe she's vicious. Sophia met his eyes. But I also believe you're using me. Maybe not maliciously. Maybe you even convinced yourself this was helping. But Nathan, you don't get to engineer someone's life and call it kindness. Then what do you want me to do? I want the truth. All of it. She stepped closer. Why does Victoria hate you this much? What happened that made her spend 2 years destroying you? Because nobody does this without a reason. Nathan looked away. The rain soaked them both, cold and relentless. There's something I didn't tell you. About the breakup. What? Victoria didn't just leave me for Marcus. His voice was barely audible. She left because she was pregnant. And she said it was Marcus's baby. Sophia felt the ground shift beneath her feet. Was it? I don't know. Nathan's hands clenched into fists. She refused a paternity test. Said if I loved her, I'd believe her. But the timeline didn't make sense. We'd been intimate 2 weeks before she left. Marcus swore they only got together after. So she might have been carrying your child. Might have been. Nathan's voice cracked. She miscarried 6 weeks later. Blamed the stress of the breakup. Blamed me for questioning her. Oh God. That's when she started the rumor about Sarah. When she started dismantling my life piece by piece. Nathan finally looked at her, because in her mind, I killed our baby by not trusting her. Sophia felt sick. Did you? Not trust her? No. Nathan's voice was hollow. I believed her. I begged her to stay, to let us work it out. But she'd already chosen Marcus. The pregnancy was just her exit strategy. Or her trap. What? Sophia's mind raced. Nathan, what if she was never pregnant? What if it was all a lie to justify leaving? To make you the villain? She had medical records, which can be faked, especially if you have money. Sophia grabbed his arms. Think about it. A woman vicious enough to destroy Sarah, smart enough to manipulate Marcus. Don't you think she'd be capable of faking a pregnancy to control the narrative? Nathan stared at her like she'd spoken in a foreign language. Why would she do that? I don't know. But I intend to find out. Sophia pulled out her phone. Do you still have contact information for Sarah? Why? Because if Victoria destroyed her, Sarah might know why. She might know the truth about what Victoria's really after. Nathan hesitated, then nodded slowly. I can get it. But Sophia, if we do this, there's no going back. We'll be declaring war. We already did. In that venue. Sophia held out her hand. So I'll ask you one more time. Partners, real partners. No more lies. No more manipulation. Nathan took her hand. No more lies. They stood in the rain, two damaged people making a dangerous pact. Nathan's phone rang. Emma again. Hey, sunshine. Nathan, where are you? Emma's voice was panicked. Victoria just left. She told Mom something. Now Mom's insisting on having dinner with you and Sophia tomorrow night. She says if Sophia can't make it, you're both uninvited from the wedding. Nathan closed his eyes. We'll be there. There's more. Emma's voice dropped. Victoria told Mom that Sophia's father didn't die of cancer. She said he died in debt because of some scandal at his gallery, that Sophia's been lying to everyone about it. Sophia felt the blood drain from her face. That's not possible, Nathan said, looking at her. Right? Sophia couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, because Victoria was right. Her father hadn't died of cancer. He'd died of a heart attack, alone in the gallery, the day after their biggest investor pulled out over accusations of selling forged artwork, accusations that were never proven but destroyed them anyway. Sophia had spent 2 years rebuilding the gallery's reputation. 2 years pretending her father died heroically instead of broken and disgraced. And somehow, Victoria had uncovered the truth she'd buried. Sophia? Nathan's voice was gentle. What is she talking about? I need to go. Sophia pulled away. Sophia, wait. I said I need to go. She started running, not caring where. Just away. Away from Nathan's questions. Away from the past clawing its way into the present. She made it 3 blocks before collapsing on a bus stop bench, rain-soaked and shaking. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Against every instinct, she answered. Hello? Sophia Bennett. Victoria's voice was silk and poison. I think it's time we had a chat. Just us girls? I have nothing to say to you. Oh, I think you do. Especially when I explain exactly how I'm going to destroy you the same way I destroyed your father. Sophia's blood turned to ice. You. It was you. The forged artwork scandal? The investor who pulled out. Victoria laughed. All me, darling. Your father was in my way. He owned a building I wanted. He refused to sell. So I removed him. You killed him. I simply applied pressure. His weak heart did the rest. Victoria's voice hardened. And I'll do the same to you unless you walk away from Nathan. Tonight. Or I release the full story. The forged paintings, the bribes your father took to stay afloat, everything that will destroy the gallery's reputation forever. You're lying. My father never took bribes, are you sure? Because I have documents that say otherwise. Signed, dated, ready for the press. Victoria paused. You have until midnight to decide. Walk away from Nathan, or watch everything your father built burn. Again. The line went dead. Sophia sat in the rain, staring at her phone. At the impossible choice before her, save the gallery, or save Nathan. She couldn't have both. Her phone buzzed. A text from Nathan, I'm at your gallery. We need to talk. Please come. Sophia stood on shaking legs, started walking toward the gallery through streets blurred by rain and tears. When she arrived, Nathan was inside, standing by her father's final painting. The sunset that never faded. He turned when she entered. Saw her face. What happened? Victoria called. Sophia's voice was hollow. She killed my father. The scandal, the investor, all of it was her. And now she's blackmailing me to leave you, or she'll destroy the gallery forever. Nathan's face went white. Sophia, she has documents. Proof that my father took bribes. Whether it's real or fake, it doesn't matter. The accusation alone will destroy everything. We'll fight her. We'll expose her. With what? Sophia laughed bitterly. She's too smart. Too connected. She's been planning this for years, Nathan. We've been playing checkers while she's been playing chess. Nathan crossed the room. Took her hands. Then we change the game. How? We give her what she wants. Or make her think we do. His eyes burned with sudden determination. You walk away publicly. Tomorrow at dinner with my mother, you break up with me. Make it messy. Make it look like I'm the villain. Nathan, that's insane. It's the only way. If Victoria thinks she's won, she'll back off. Then we'll have time to gather real evidence, to find out what she's really after. Or it backfires and she destroys us both anyway. Sophia pulled her hands away. No, I won't let you sacrifice yourself. I'm not. I'm buying us time. Nathan grabbed her shoulders. Sophia, listen to me. The only way we beat Victoria is together. But first we have to make her believe we're broken. And after she backs off and we investigate, after we expose her. For Sarah, for your father, for everyone she's hurt. His voice dropped. And maybe when this is over, we figure out what's real between us. Sophia's breath caught. What? You felt it. In the car, when I touched your face. Nathan's eyes searched hers. This stopped being fake somewhere along the way. At least for me, Nathan. I know the timing is terrible. I know you have every reason to hate me. But Sophia, you're not a prop. You haven't been from the start. And when this is over, I want the chance to prove that. Sophia looked at him, at the vulnerability in his eyes, at the man behind the billionaire mask. If we do this, I need one promise from you. Anything. No more lies. Even to protect me. Even to win. She stepped closer. If we're going to war with Victoria, I need to trust you completely. Can you give me that? Nathan's jaw tightened. There's one more thing. About the gallery building? What? I didn't just buy it 6 months ago. I bought it 2 years ago, right after Victoria destroyed your father. He looked away. I've been keeping the gallery afloat this whole time, anonymously. The rent reductions, the emergency repairs, all of it was me. Sophia felt tears burn her eyes. Why? Because I read about what happened to your father. About Victoria's involvement. And I couldn't save him, but I thought maybe I could save what he built. Nathan's voice cracked. I thought maybe I could stop her from destroying one more innocent person. You've been protecting me for 2 years. Yes. And you let me think I did it alone. Because you did. The gallery stayed open because of your talent, your dedication. I just made sure you had a fighting chance. Nathan finally met her eyes. I'm sorry I lied. About all of it. But I meant what I said. No more secrets. Not from here on. Sophia touched his face. His skin was cold from the rain. Okay, she whispered. We do this your way. Tomorrow I break your heart. And then we destroy Victoria. Nathan leaned into her touch. And after? After we figure out what's real. They stood together in the gallery, surrounded by her father's paintings. Outside, the rain finally stopped. Dawn was coming, and with it, the performance of a lifetime. Nathan's phone buzzed. A text from Victoria. I know you're with her. I hope you said goodbye. After tomorrow, Sophia Bennett won't want anything to do with you. I'll make sure of it. Nathan showed Sophia the text. She read it, then smiled. Cold and determined, let her try. They spent the night planning. Every word, every gesture. The perfect breakup. By the time the sun rose, they had their script, and neither of them noticed the figure watching from across the street. A woman with Sarah's face, older and harder. She took one photo of them together, then disappeared into the morning light. The game was changing, but not the way anyone expected. Charlotte Cross's dining room was a monument to old money. Crystal chandeliers, mahogany table polished to mirrors, the kind of wealth that whispered instead of shouted. Sophia wore a blue dress Nathan had sent over. Simple, elegant, expensive enough to belong. Her hands shook as she adjusted the necklace. You remember the plan? Nathan's voice was low as they stood outside the door. Every word. Sophia looked at him, memorized his face one more time. Are you sure about this? No. He touched her cheek. Brief, gentle. But it's the only way. The door opened. Charlotte Cross stood there, perfectly coiffed, diamond earrings catching the light. Her smile was warm, but her eyes were calculating. Nathan, darling, and you must be Sophia. She kissed Nathan's cheek, then turned to Sophia. Come in. I've been dying to meet the woman who captured my son's attention. The dining room held more people than expected. Emma and Oliver. Marcus, looking uncomfortable. And Victoria, seated like a queen, wearing red. Sophia, how lovely. Victoria's smile was a blade. That dress is beautiful. Rental? The first cut. Gift. Sophia kept her voice steady. From Nathan. How generous. Victoria sipped her wine. Though I suppose he can afford to be generous with other people's money. Victoria. Charlotte's voice held warning. Please, they sat. Sophia across from Victoria, Nathan beside her. Under the table, his hand found hers. Squeezed once, their last moment of truth before the performance began. Dinner was torture. Small talk that felt like landmines. Victoria steering every conversation toward danger zones. Sophia's gallery. Her father. Her background. So your father was an art dealer? Charlotte asked, genuinely curious. Curator. He owned Belltown Gallery. Sophia's throat tightened. He passed 2 years ago. I'm so sorry, dear. Charlotte's sympathy seemed real. And you've kept the gallery running? That must be difficult. It has its challenges. I'd imagine. Victoria leaned forward. Especially with the reputation issues. Wasn't there some scandal right before he died? The room went silent. Sophia felt Nathan tense beside her. This was it. The moment Victoria would strike. There were accusations of selling forged artwork. Sophia met Victoria's eyes. They were never proven. But in the art world, accusations are often enough. How convenient that Nathan owns your building. Victoria's smile widened. When did you discover that little detail? Nathan's hand tightened on Sophia's. Victoria, that's enough. Is it? Because from where I'm sitting, this looks less like a romance and more like a transaction. Victoria turned to Charlotte. Did you know Nathan hired Sophia to be his date for the wedding? $15,000. There's a contract and everything. Emma gasped. Marcus looked away. Charlotte's face went pale. Is this true? Charlotte's voice was ice. The plan. Stick to the plan. But looking at Nathan's mother's face, at Emma's betrayed expression, Sophia felt something inside her crack. Yes, she said quietly. It's true, Sophia. Nathan's voice held warning. No, she pulled her hand from his. Your mother deserves the truth. You all do? She stood, addressing the table. Nathan approached me 3 weeks ago with a business proposition. I would accompany him to the wedding. Play the part of his girlfriend. In exchange, he would pay me enough to save my gallery from eviction. Victoria's eyes glittered with triumph. But that's not the whole truth. Sophia turned to Nathan. Is it? Nathan's jaw worked. They hadn't scripted this part. What are you doing? He whispered. Changing the game? She looked back at Charlotte. Nathan owns the building my gallery is in. He has for 2 years. He's been keeping it afloat anonymously since my father died. Why would he do that? Charlotte asked. Sophia's eyes found Victoria's. Because Victoria was responsible for the scandal that killed my father. She wanted the building. My father refused to sell, so she destroyed him. Victoria's composure cracked. That's a lie, is it? Sophia pulled out her phone. Because I spent last night going through my father's emails. The threatening messages from shell companies. The rumors planted with key investors. Every trail leads back to Ashford Enterprises, your family's real estate company. That proves nothing. Victoria's voice rose. Ashford Enterprises handles hundreds of properties, including the one your company acquired 3 months after my father's death. The building that used to house Belltown Gallery. Sophia's voice cut like glass. You waited just long enough for the scandal to fade, then bought it at auction for a fraction of its value. Marcus stood abruptly. Victoria, what is she talking about? She's lying. Victoria spun to face him. She's trying to sabotage us because she's jealous. Of what? Sophia laughed bitterly. Your relationship built on destroying other people? No thanks. This is insane. Victoria grabbed her clutch. I don't have to listen to this. Sit down. Charlotte's voice was steel. Victoria, if what Sophia is saying is true, if you had any involvement in destroying that man, I will personally ensure every society door in Seattle closes to you. You can't do that. I'm Charlotte Cross. I absolutely can. She turned to Sophia. Do you have proof? Real proof? Not yet. Sophia met Nathan's eyes, saw understanding dawn. But I will. I'm going to spend every resource I have uncovering the truth about what happened to my father. Even if it means losing the gallery? Victoria's voice dripped poison. Because I still have those documents, Sophia. The bribes. The forgeries. 1 phone call and your father's name is destroyed forever. Then make the call. Sophia's voice was steady. Because I'm done being afraid of you. The room erupted. Emma and Oliver arguing. Charlotte demanding answers. Marcus questioning Victoria in harsh whispers. And Nathan, staring at Sophia like she'd just set fire to everything. Sophia, outside. Now. He grabbed her arm, pulling her toward the terrace. The night air was cold. Seattle sprawled below them, lights like fallen stars. What the hell was that? Nathan's voice shook. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to make Victoria think she won. But I realized something. Sophia turned to face him. She doesn't just want to win. She wants to control. As long as she has those documents, as long as she has leverage, she owns us. So you decided to just hand her the nuclear option? I decided to call her bluff. Sophia stepped closer. Nathan, if those documents were real, she would have released them already. She's holding them over me because she knows they won't stand up to scrutiny. And if you're wrong, then I lose the gallery. But I keep my integrity. She touched his face. And I keep you. Nathan's breath caught. Sophia, I know this wasn't part of the deal. I know I was supposed to walk away, collect my money, and disappear. Her voice softened. But somewhere between the first lie and tonight, this became real. You became real, and I'm not going to let Victoria destroy that. She'll come after you now, harder than ever. Let her. Sophia's eyes burned with determination. Because I'm done running. From her, from the past, from what I feel for you. Nathan pulled her close. His forehead rested against hers. You're either the bravest person I've ever met or the most reckless. Both, remember? She smiled. You said that the first night. I did. His hands framed her face. Sophia, if we do this, really do this, there's no going back. We're going to war with one of the most powerful families in Seattle. Then we better win. He kissed her, soft at first, then desperate. Like they were drowning and each other was air. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Nathan's eyes held something fierce and terrifying. I love you, he whispered. I know it's too soon. I know it's complicated, but I love you. Before Sophia could respond, the terrace door burst open. Sarah stood there, older, harder, but unmistakably her. Nathan Cross. Her voice was rough. We need to talk. Nathan stepped in front of Sophia protectively. Sarah, how did you find me? I've been watching you for weeks, ever since Victoria started circling again. Sarah's eyes found Sophia. You must be the new target. I'm sorry, I tried to warn you. The texts, Sophia realized. That was you. Yes. I wanted you to run before she destroyed you like she destroyed me. Sarah pulled out an envelope. But since you're apparently too stubborn to listen, you might want to see this. Nathan took the envelope. Inside were documents, medical records, bank statements, photos. His face went white as snow. What is it? Sophia asked. Nathan's hands shook. Victoria was never pregnant. Sarah found the proof. The doctor she claimed treated her was paid off. The medical records were forged. There's more, Sarah said. The miscarriage, she claimed? Never happened, but she did have a procedure around that time, at a clinic in Vancouver. What kind of procedure? Sophia felt her stomach drop. The kind you get when you're terminating a pregnancy. Sarah's voice was hard, but not Nathan's baby. Marcus's. She'd been sleeping with him for 6 months before the breakup. Got pregnant, panicked, terminated it. Then blamed Nathan for a miscarriage that never happened to justify leaving him. Nathan sank onto a bench. All of it. Everything. It was all a lie. Not just that. Sarah pulled out more documents. After she left you, Victoria convinced Marcus to merge his company with hers. She's been systematically draining his assets for 2 years. When the wedding happens next week, she'll have complete control of his business. Then she'll leave him and take everything. Why? Sophia whispered. Why go through all this? Because Nathan rejected her. Sarah's voice softened. Before they got engaged, Victoria asked Nathan to merge Cross T Industries with Ashford Enterprises. He refused. Said he'd built his company alone and wanted to keep it that way. This has all been revenge for that rejection. The fake pregnancy. The scandal with me. Destroying Sophia's father. All of it to make Nathan suffer. Nathan looked up. His eyes were devastated. How many people has she destroyed because of me? It's not your fault. Sophia knelt beside him. Nathan, you're not responsible for her choices. But I could have stopped it. If I'd just agreed to the merger, none of this would have happened. And she would have destroyed you from the inside instead of the outside. Sarah sat across from them. Victoria is a parasite. She consumes everything she touches. You were right to refuse her. The terrace door opened again. Charlotte stepped out, with Emma behind her. Nathan, we need to call the police. Charlotte's face was grim. Victoria just admitted everything. She thought Marcus had left, but he was recording on his phone. We have her confession. What? Nathan stood. What did she say? Everything. The fake pregnancy. The scandal with Sarah. The plot to drain Marcus's company. Emma's eyes were red from crying. She also said if we try to stop the wedding, she'll release documents proving Dad's company engaged in insider trading 20 years ago. Documents that could destroy our family. Let her. Charlotte's voice was ice. I'm not protecting my late husband's mistakes at the cost of justice. Mom, those documents could put you in prison. Emma grabbed her mother's hands. The statute of limitations might not have passed. Charlotte smiled sadly. Then I'll face those consequences. But I won't let that woman destroy another innocent person. Nathan stared at his mother. Mom, you can't. I can and I will. Charlotte turned to Sarah. I'm sorry for what happened to you. If I'd known what Victoria was capable of, I never would have stayed silent. You knew? Sarah's voice cracked. I suspected. When Nathan told me about the scandal, something felt wrong, but I was too afraid of Victoria's family connections to investigate. Charlotte's voice broke. I failed you. I failed all of you. But I won't fail again. Sophia's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Sophia Bennett. Victoria's voice was calm, eerie. I hope you enjoyed your little victory, because by tomorrow morning, every news outlet in Seattle will have photos of you and Nathan from tonight, along with a detailed story about how you seduced a billionaire to save your failing gallery, how you're just like your father, a con artist and a fraud. Victoria, it's over. Marcus recorded your confession, did he? Victoria laughed. That recording will never see the light of day. I have lawyers who will bury it, and by the time it surfaces, if it ever does, you'll all be destroyed. Nathan's reputation, his mother's freedom, your gallery, everything. What do you want? I want Nathan to merge his company with mine. Tomorrow. I want controlling interest. I want everything he built. Victoria's voice turned to poison. And I want you to disappear. Leave Seattle. Change your name. Become a ghost. Do that and I'll let everyone else go. No. Nathan grabbed the phone. Victoria, if you want Cross T Industries, you can have it. But you leave Sophia alone. You leave my family alone. You leave everyone alone. Nathan! Sophia tried to grab the phone back. I accept your terms. Nathan's voice was dead. Draft the papers. I'll sign tomorrow. But Sophia stays. She keeps the gallery. She keeps her life. No. Sophia grabbed his arm. Nathan, you can't! It's done. Nathan hung up. Turned to Sophia. His eyes were empty. It's the only way. You're giving up everything. I'm giving up a company. You would have given up your entire future. He touched her face. I can build another company. You can't rebuild a life after Victoria destroys it. But Cross T Industries is your life. No. Nathan pulled her close. It was, but not anymore. You are. Sophia felt tears stream down her face. Nathan, there has to be another way. There isn't. He kissed her forehead. And I'm okay with that. Really. Sarah stepped forward. Actually, there might be. Everyone turned to her. Victoria thinks she's won. She thinks Nathan's going to hand over his company. Sarah's eyes glittered. What if instead we give her exactly what she deserves? What are you suggesting? Charlotte asked. Sarah smiled, cold and sharp. I'm suggesting we stop playing defense and go on offense. I have documents, real ones, proving Victoria's been committing fraud for years. I've been gathering evidence since she destroyed me, waiting for the right moment. Why didn't you come forward before? Nathan asked. Because I was afraid, broken. She made me doubt my own sanity. Sarah's voice strengthened, but watching her try to do the same thing to Sophia. Watching her try to take everything from you again, I'm done being afraid. What do you need? Sophia asked. I need you to trust me, and I need Nathan to go through with the meeting tomorrow. Sarah pulled out her phone. Because while Victoria's celebrating her victory, I'll be delivering her evidence to the FBI. They've been investigating Ashford Enterprises for years. They just needed proof. This could work. Charlotte's voice held hope. Victoria would be arrested before the ink dried on the merger papers. It's risky. Emma looked at Nathan. If something goes wrong, you lose everything. If we do nothing, Victoria wins anyway. Nathan looked at each of them. I say we do it. We end this tomorrow. They spent the night planning. Every detail. Every contingency. By dawn, they had a strategy, and in a hotel room across town, Victoria Ashford stared at merger documents with a smile of pure triumph. She didn't know the trap was already closing around her. She didn't know that by tomorrow night. She'd lose everything, but most importantly, she didn't know that Nathan Cross had stopped playing her game. He was playing his own. The conference room on the 40th floor felt like a cage. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed Seattle waking up, unaware of the battle about to unfold. Victoria arrived exactly on time. Designer suit, perfect makeup, victory in her eyes. Nathan. She set her briefcase on the mahogany table. I'm glad you came to your senses. Let's just get this over with. Nathan's voice was flat, defeated. Victoria smiled, pulled out the merger documents. Sign here and here. Initial every page. Nathan picked up the pen. His hand shook. One question first. He looked up. Why? Why destroy so many lives just to get my company? Because you rejected me. Victoria's mask finally fell. Do you have any idea what it's like to offer yourself completely to someone and have them choose business over you? I didn't reject you. I rejected a merger. Same thing. Victoria leaned forward. You made me feel small, insignificant. So I decided to show you what insignificance really feels like. By destroying innocent people. By taking everything you loved. Your reputation, your business partner, your pathetic assistant, even Sophia's father. Victoria's eyes glittered. That one was particularly satisfying. He begged me not to spread the rumors. Offered me everything he had. It wasn't enough. You're a monster. I'm a winner. Victoria pushed the papers forward. Now sign. Nathan signed. Every page. Every initial. Victoria's smile widened with each stroke of the pen. There. Nathan threw down the pen. It's done. Cross T Industries is yours. Not quite. Victoria pulled out another document. This is a non-compete clause. You agree never to work in tech again. Never to start another company. You'll live off a small pension while I run your empire. That wasn't part of the deal. The deal changed. Sign it or I release everything about Charlotte. About Sophia. About all of them. Victoria's voice was steel. You have 10 seconds. Nathan stared at the document. At the future it promised. Empty. Powerless. Destroyed. He picked up the pen. The conference room door burst open. FBI agents poured in. Led by Sarah, who looked stronger than Nathan had ever seen her. Victoria Ashford, you're under arrest. The lead agent pulled out handcuffs. For fraud, extortion, conspiracy, and about 15 other charges. Victoria went white. What is this? Justice. Sarah stepped forward. I've been working with the FBI for 6 months. Every document you forged, every person you blackmailed, every crime you committed. It's all on record. You have no proof. Actually, we do. Nathan stood. Pulled a small recording device from his pocket, including your confession just now. About destroying Sophia's father. About the fake pregnancy. All of it. Victoria's face contorted with rage. You set me up. We gave you rope. You hung yourself. Sophia stepped into the room. My father's real medical records proved he died of a heart attack caused by stress you created. The FBI has your communications with the investors you bribed to pull out. Everything. Those documents about my late husband. Charlotte appeared behind Sophia. Completely fabricated. My lawyers proved it this morning. You have nothing. Victoria looked around the room. At the agents. At Sarah's cold satisfaction. At Nathan's quiet triumph. Marcus. She turned desperately. Marcus, help me. Tell them this is a mistake. Marcus stood in the doorway. His face hard. You're on your own, Victoria. I filed for annulment this morning, and I'm testifying against you. You can't. We're getting married. We're getting married. Past tense. Marcus looked at Nathan. I'm sorry. For everything. She played me from the start. I know. Nathan's voice softened. We'll talk, later. The agents led Victoria away. She fought, screamed, hurled threats that echoed down the hallway. When the door closed, silence fell like snow. Sarah turned to Nathan. I'm sorry. For disappearing, for letting you think I blamed you. You had every right to blame me. No, I had every right to blame her. Sarah smiled sadly. But I let fear win. I won't make that mistake again. I'm testifying. Against Victoria. Against everyone she worked with. And then I'm starting over. If you need anything, Sophia said. A reference. A friend. Anything. Sarah looked at her. You remind me of who I used to be. Before Victoria. Hold on to that. She left with quiet dignity. Charlotte hugged Nathan tight. I'm proud of you. Your father would be too. Even though I almost gave away his company, especially because you were willing to sacrifice it for the people you love. Charlotte kissed his cheek. That's real strength. Emma appeared with Oliver. So about the wedding. Victoria's obviously uninvited, but you two, she looked at Nathan and Sophia, still need to be there, and this time it better be real. Emma, Nathan started. I'm serious. I've watched you fall in love with her over the past 3 weeks. Don't you dare pretend this is still fake. Emma grabbed Sophia's hands. And you stood up to a monster for my brother. You're family now, whether you like it or not. Sophia felt tears burn. I don't have family anymore. You do now. Emma pulled her into a hug. One by one, they left. Charlotte promising to handle the press. Emma dragging Oliver to finish wedding preparations. Marcus hesitating at the door. Nathan. Marcus's voice cracked. I know sorry isn't enough, but I am. Sorry. For all of it. I know. Nathan studied his former best friend. Victoria destroyed you too, just in a different way. Does that excuse what I did? No, but it explains it. Nathan held out his hand. We're not okay. We might never be okay, but we're alive, and Victoria's not destroying anyone else. That's something. Marcus shook his hand, then left without another word. Finally, Nathan and Sophia were alone. So, Sophia said, That happened. Nathan laughed. Exhausted, relieved, alive. You changed the plan. You tried to sacrifice your company. You called Victoria's bluff. You said you loved me. Sophia stepped closer. On the terrace, before Sarah showed up. You said you loved me. Nathan's breath caught. I did. Did you mean it? Or was that part of the performance? Sophia, he took her hands. Nothing about you has been a performance. Not from the moment you signed that contract and looked at me without fear. I was terrified. You didn't show it. You were strong, brilliant, real. Nathan pulled her close. I fell in love with you somewhere between the gallery and the rehearsal dinner, and I kept falling every moment after. Even when I was lying about my father, especially then. Because you were protecting his memory the only way you knew how, Nathan's voice softened. I understand that better than anyone. Sophia touched his face. I love you too. Even though you manipulated me, even though you own my building and probably my future. I don't own your future, no? She smiled. Then what do you own? If you'll let me. Nathan's eyes held everything. Hope, fear, love. You're present. Starting now, he kissed her. Slow and deep and real. When they broke apart, Seattle spread before them. A city full of second chances. What happens now? Sophia asked. Now? Nathan smiled. Now we go to my sister's wedding. We dance. We smile for real. And then we figure out what comes next. The gallery still needs saving. Consider it saved. No strings, no contracts. Just a gift from someone who believes in second chances. Nathan Cross, are you trying to buy my affection? I'm trying to give you back what Victoria took. Your father's legacy, your future, your choice. He turned her to face him. What do you choose? Sophia looked at him. At the man who'd hired her as a fake girlfriend and became the realest thing in her life. I choose this. You. Us. She smiled. Whatever that looks like. Even if it's complicated? Especially if it's complicated. 3 months later, Emma's wedding was a blur of white and gold and joy. Nathan's speech made everyone cry. Sophia caught the bouquet and laughed when Emma winked at her. Victoria was in prison awaiting trial. Sarah was testifying. Marcus was rebuilding his life. And Nathan and Sophia stood on the dance floor, swaying to music that felt like promises. "I have something for you," Nathan whispered. "What?" He pulled out a small box. "Inside was a key. It's not a ring." "Not yet." His voice was nervous. "But it's the key to the building. Your building. I'm signing it over to you. Completely. No strings. No ownership. It's yours." Sophia stared at the key, at the future it represented. "Nathan, I can't accept this." "Yes, you can. Because you earned it. Every day you kept that gallery alive despite everything. Despite Victoria. Despite me. Despite the world." He closed her fingers around the key. "This is yours. Always was. Why? Because I love you. And love means giving freely. Not manipulating. Not controlling." Nathan smiled. "I'm still learning that. But I'm trying." Sophia kissed him. "We're both learning." They danced until the stars came out. Until the wedding ended and real life began. 6 months later, Nathan proposed. Not in a fancy restaurant or on a grand stage, but in the gallery, standing before her father's sunset painting. "He would have liked you," Sophia said, tears streaming. "I hope so." Nathan slipped the ring on her finger. "Because I intend to spend the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of his daughter." "You already have." They were married a year after Emma's wedding. Small ceremony, close friends. Sarah came, stronger and building her own business. Marcus sent flowers and an apology he'd spent months writing. Victoria sent nothing. She was serving 15 years, and sometimes, late at night, Sophia would wake up and wonder if any of it was real. Then she'd feel Nathan beside her. His breathing steady, his hand finding hers even in sleep, and she'd... No, this was real. The fake arrangement that became. The realest love she'd ever known. The billionaire who hired a fake, wife for one weekend. And the woman who taught him that real love couldn't be bought or controlled, or faked. It could only be earned. One truth at a time. Sophia stood in the gallery on a Tuesday morning, sun streaming through windows. Her gallery, her father's legacy, her future. Nathan appeared in the doorway, coffee in hand. That smile she'd learned meant home. "Ready?" he asked. "For what?" "Whatever comes next." She took his hand. Always. They walked out together into the Seattle morning. Two people who'd found each other in the worst circumstances and built something beautiful from the, wreckage. The press called it a fairy tale. They knew better. It was messy, complicated, scarred by the past, but it was real, and real was worth more than any amount of money, more than any perfect performance. Real was worth everything. The end.